Welcome to my channel. In today's video I do have 3 very simple jigs for your router that you can make in few minutes time, but they may save you hours and hustle in your daily chores. Check out my video. Right then, let's start our jigs. Now I'm going to be using this cordless trim router as my main router for these jigs, but of course you can use your plunge router for these as well. Of course you will have to change the dimensions of the bases. Right, let's talk materials. They need to be sheet materials, preferably plywood. I think would be the most stable, between 9mm of thickness up to 16mm. You don't want to go too thick. You can also use MDF, however in this case again it needs to be on the thicker side, as well it's a little bit more flexible than the plywood itself. The first jig we're going to tackle is the self-centering jig with 12mm plywood, and we're going to need 2 pins. It's up to you what you're going to use. You can use a wooden dowel, however in this case it may not give you absolutely perfect results, as these dowels are very rarely, well, absolutely round and perfect. You could use some sort of aluminium rod or pipe or anything like that. It's really up to you depending on what you've got in your workshop. I'm going to be using this 8mm pipe from aluminium. I think it will work absolutely fine, and I'm just simply going to be gluing them in place. The size of the base will be a square 130mm by 130mm, and as you can see I've been cutting that on my miter saw. Now let's establish the center of our block, and we're going to mount the base of our router onto it, making sure it's in the middle as much as possible. Now we need to mount our base to the block of plywood, and to do it accurately right in the middle I'm going to be using this point bit I've got in my router. So I'm just going to drop it down and marry the router bit with the middle point on my piece of plywood. With that done, I'm just going to trace around the base. Usually on these bases you can take off the bottom part, and I'm going to use that as my template for the screw holes. And now let's transfer the marks for the screw holes. I'm going to drill the holes on my pillar drill to make sure they are accurate. First of all, I'm using a larger 8mm drill bit to countersink those screws. With that done, I'm using a 4mm drill bit to drill the rest of the hole. And with that done, we can mount our router base to the plywood sheet. With all that sorted, now we need to establish the position for our dowels on the jig itself. And again, I'm going to be using the same router bit to find the absolute middle point for our jig at this stage. With the center found, I'm going to remove the base from our plywood sheet, and we'll find places for our dowels. Now we need to mark up one line from corner to corner, making sure we are dead middle, dead center in that hole that we created with the router bit. Now we need to make sure that our dowels will be at equal distances to the middle point just over here. So grab yourself a drill bit and drill a hole. Now simply grab the drill bit, whack it inside, grab yourself a spacer, in this case is 70mm wide, and quite easily we can establish the correct position with no issues at all. And in this case I'm not drilling through the material. I'm going to leave about 2mm of the plywood left. Time to cut the aluminium. In my case it's going to be 45mm long. Now as I mentioned, I'm just going to be using CA glue to glue these in place. However, you can use 5-minute epoxy if you wanted to. That will work just fine. Now I'm just going to use a 80 grit sandpaper to scuff the outside of the aluminium pipes, just for the glue to have better chance to stick to it. I'm using very thick CA. I think it's very good for these type of jobs. Now as you drive them in, just make sure they are perfectly square. And now it's time for the final thing. We need to create an opening for the router bit. In this case, I'm using a 40mm Forstner bit. However, you can use a hole saw as well, depends on what you have. And our jig is completed, as you can see, that simple and that easy to make. Already installed a straight bit in my router just to show you a couple of examples on, well, how you can actually use this jig. With this, you can create some grooves, slots, or just simply holes if you want to use a plunge router, and it will be in the middle of your board. However, I do have a very simple trick to actually use the same jig to make your holes off center, or your channels, or anything else you want to route out. It's a very simple thing, especially very helpful if you've got wider boards, but I'll show you that in a second. First of all, well, loose tenons. You can use this jig to install those, or just create mortises for any type of tenon you want to install in your piece. Check this out. So the way you use this jig is absolutely that simple. You got two pins that will be on either side of the board, and simply twist the jig like so, and that will make sure our router bit is in the dead center of this board. Super easy, super simple. Let's make that slot for our loose tenon. And now simply you can install your loose tenon just like that, no issues at all. Of course, you can set up some stop blocks so you don't have that much wiggle room as I do. It will stop in place, so you're gonna have much better fit. However, I was eyeballing that a little bit. But let me show you now the trick where this hole could be actually off center. So we've got a wider board, and if you were to use this jig in a normal fashion, you're gonna create a channel right in the middle. However, simply adding some sort of a spacer on the left or on the right hand side, depending on the thickness, that hole will be in a different place suiting your needs. How quick and simple and easy is that? So let's create an off-center slot so you can see how easy that actually works. And there you go. In that simple way, we managed to create our channel off center on the board. That's the first jig sorted. Let's start working on the second one. The next jig will be super useful if you're trying to route on an edge of your material, okay? With these handheld routers, usually the feet of them, the bases are very small, and it's quite hard to keep this stable. Therefore, a larger base will definitely do a better job. Let's crack on. The material for the base I'm using is 8mm plywood sheet. The length of our base needs to be 240mm, at least in my case, making sure that it fits nicely the base of my router. And the width, that's gonna be 130mm. With the base now cut out, we need to establish the position of our router. In the same way, I'm actually just gonna be using the base as before, closer to the edge, about 1 centimeter from the front and about 2.5 from the edges. And we also want to remove the middle here, so I'm just going to be using a Forstner bit to do that as well. First of all, I'm going to create a recess for the head of the bolt. With that out of the way, 4mm drill bit to carry on drilling the hole, and finally a 30mm Forstner bit to finish the job. Now we need to figure out some sort of a handle. I don't have a lathe, so I'm not going to have any fancy handles here. However, I'm going to show you a very quick way of creating a nice and sturdy handle. Now grab yourself a thicker piece of material, 2x4, anything like that, and just cut it to the size of your hand. However, I actually don't need it to be so tall, so I'm just gonna shorten it a little bit as well. And if you do have a belt sander or oscillating spindle sander, then you can add something really cool to this handle, mainly a round over insert for your fingers. That will transfer the block into a really nice handle. And now it's time to attach our handle to the base itself. I'm going to be using wood glue and some screws to do that. Now the final thing I'm going to do to this jig is to add a bit of wax to the bottom. It will help us to glide a little bit better, smoother. And now with this type of jig, it will be a lot easier to handle any edges on your projects. So I've installed a round over bit just like this one, and we'll give it a few passes to see how everything operates. And as you can see, we've got nice rounded off edge. We managed to do it in a nice stable way, and most importantly in a safe way, even if for whatever reason you're doing an upcut as well. So definitely this simple jig will give you far more control over your router. Right, then it's time for the final jig. Now this one does have a very specific use, but I think it's so easy to make, it's really worth doing. This time the base of our router needs to be right on the edge of our material. I'm using 12mm plywood sheet in this case. Select the places where the screws need to go, and at the same time I'm gonna circle around the middle. However, before I'm actually gonna jump onto my pillar drill, well, I'm gonna cut this board to the right size. In my case, that's going to be 180mm, and the width of this is 130mm. The next thing we need to do on our base is actually we're going to be cutting out this middle portion of the jig itself, and you'll see how we're going to be using that in just a second. So I'm just marking some lines, making sure I more or less go for the middle of this opening here. So now we need to cut these out. You can do it with a jigsaw, handsaw, or anything else you've got. In my case, it's a bandsaw. The last thing that we're going to need for our jig is some sort of a handle. Again, you can do exactly the same thing as we did before, or you can actually get these huge, really thick dowels. Now in my case, this is a curtain rail that, well, it is getting another life. So I'm just going to cut it to the right size and mount it on my base. To mount the handle, I'm going to be using a bit of wood glue and a screw. And there you have it. Our jig is completed. Few minutes and it's done. Thanks to that opening here, we can actually flush trim anything sticking past the level of our board. So in this case, for example, some dowels. And I'm going to give you a quick tip. This is what I do, okay? So usually, in this case, what you would do, you're going to be dropping your router bit just to the level surface of your board to flush trim those pegs. However, sometimes if you do that, you may scratch the surface of your board. So instead of that, grab yourself a folded piece of paper and rest your router bit on top of it, okay? It will give you a bit of clearance between the router bit and your work surface, okay? You just need those few millimeters to be above the level of the board. And then whatever is left from the dowels, you can simply sand it off smooth. So, for example, instead of using a handsaw that could potentially leave some marks and it will take some time, well, I think this is a far better solution, easy and quick to do jig that definitely will help you out with tasks like these. However, this jig doesn't limit itself just to cut off any excess dowels. You can actually use it for any other joinery that's sticking past the level of the surface of your board. For example, finger joints or anything else. If you want to trim to the level of your board, this jig will be absolutely great for it. Now, these 3 simple jigs will take you no time to do, and they actually can save you a ton of time on your daily chores in your workshop. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, drop me that like button and consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. At this point, I also wanted to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for their ongoing support. And before you go, check out these 2 cool playlists, plenty of fantastic videos waiting for you there. For today, that's all. Take care.